Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, what we loved and what we hated.
And I have to say, this was our favorite cruise of the year so far, so we loved a lot. So put a lot more emphasis on the loved here, because there really wasn't that much that was too bad about it, but what we loved, we really loved. So the first thing is that Virgin is doing things completely different than any other cruise line. If you've ever been on a cruise line, they've taken all the things that annoy you about cruises and they just got rid of them. So that's great. The first one being, you don't have to leave your room super early on the last day, on debarkation day. Normally on a cruise ship, they're telling you you have to be out of your room by 7:30 or 8 o'clock in the morning. Not so on Virgin. You're staying in that room till 10 o'clock if you want.
Yes, it's actually, I was so surprised as I was like, oh, they haven't given us any information yet on debarkation. I'm like, how early do we have to leave the ship? Well, we were carrying our own luggage off, and the latest you could stay in your room was 10 a.m., which is unheard of.
Yeah, so we did stay in until 10 a.m. because we didn't have to catch anything, and I just don't like that last day, knowing you have to wake up way earlier than you wanted, then the night before you're like, well, I better go to bed early, so you kind of ruin that night too, because it's either get no sleep or don't get to do what you want to do. They've taken care of that, and it's literally just amazing. That made me so happy.
Yeah, it was really good.
Another thing we loved is the restaurants and the food in general. They are basically, almost every restaurant is like being at a specialty restaurant, but they're all included. So if you take the food from any other cruise ship, consider that you're always eating at a specialty restaurant. And that's kind of like how it is.
Right, because I mean, no other cruise line is offering Korean barbecue as part of your fare.
Yeah.
I mean, if any other ship had it, they would be charging extra for sure at a specialty restaurant. As a specialty restaurant, just think about, like, you know, you pay extra at like Bonsai, you know, and Carnival to do the teppanyaki. So this is included in your fare. So the restaurants are phenomenal. The food is actually amazing, high quality food. And we do have other tips here about Virgin as well. So make sure you check those videos out here on the channel, because there's lots of little tidbits and things that we learned on this cruise.
Yeah, the food is probably our favorite of any cruise line. Next one that we loved was the thermal suite is phenomenal. And it's kind of hidden away down in the basement, but it's huge.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny because we love the thermal suites. If you've seen our channel at all, you see we always share thermal suite videos and our experience in them. And I usually judge a cruise ship brand line by their thermal suites. Sorry. We hadn't heard much about this ship, and we just thought, oh, I guess we're not going to be doing thermal suite because they probably don't have one. Well, we got down there. We were like, oh, let's just go see what they have at the spa. It was out of this world. And if you haven't seen the tour of it, go check that out, because my mind was completely blown. Probably one of the top 3 for sure, maybe top 2 thermal suites we've ever been on a cruise ship.
We also love that they have great room service on this ship. And it's not just your standard get a burger. It's amazing food. It's great desserts. And they bring it to you. They've also changed how they do it. Like, most people bring it to you on a tray with all these little metal tin things. They bring it to you in like a stacking container system, which is really cool. And they just kind of drop it off at your door. Then you set it back outside. They come pick it up. And you order it all right on the app. Now, there is a delivery fee if you do not pay for anything that's like cost money, which would be just basically drinks and coffees. So what you can do is, if you have a bar tab, which basically everybody on Virgin gets that for free, you just order whatever the cheapest drink they're offering is. That is cheaper than the delivery fee. So you should always just order a drink with your room service, because if you pay for one thing, it cuts the delivery fee off for the whole order. You can order whatever you want. So the food though is phenomenal. They have like cake pops and all kinds of amazing stuff.
Spaghetti and meatballs, and actually several of the items are from some of the restaurants on the ship.
Yeah, another thing that we loved is that the bed in the room turns into a couch, right?
Yeah, it was really cool. Did not discover that until I think the second day. We were like, oh, that they put a little card in there, said, let them know if you wanted them to make your bed into a couch. I was like, my bed into a couch? Because I thought the nightstand was kind of unusual because it was down low, but it was because it was where the cushion turns so that you can have a couch during the daytime, which was actually a really cool idea to not have to waste space with having a couch. It was a huge, sectional essentially in there in your room instead of having the bed.
And you also get the hammock on the balcony, which you love.
Yes, I did love that.
The staff did not seem overworked, and we liked that.
Yes, I think a lot of times you see the staff on these ships and they have crazy shifts. Well, we did talk to, as we always do, and I'm sure you do too, talk to some of the staff, and they did share that it's completely different on this ship. They had worked on other, for other cruise lines, and they said this is totally different, the way they divide your time up and their free time as well to get off the ship. So it was really nice to hear that, that they were also being treated quite well.
The gym areas on this ship, very nice.
Yes.
More felt like a hotel gym.
And you said areas because it's not just one big gym.
Right.
It's separated into sections. There's like an outdoor area where they have like a boxing ring, and there's like a CrossFit gym. That's a separate one. They have a cardio gym where they have all the equipment, and then they also have where you can do weightlifting, and they have the machines. They have a yoga studio. They have so many. On top of that as well, a spin studio. So many different places to work out. So not everybody's going to be crammed into one big gym. Instead, they divide it up into different sections and by different, kind of genres. And then people can choose what they want to do, right? Which was really nice to be able to do that.
So another thing they do is they provide water for you in your room. Your room stewards will come in and bring you water every day whenever you want it. So they've done away with the whole problem, which is everybody trying to go up to the buffet and fill their water bottles up with water, or like try to find water. Like, where can I find water? It's like a daily struggle on most cruise ships to get enough water for the day. And it's like, this is the part I'm talking about, where Virgin just took like all the complaints that you would have from a normal cruise ship and just like, you know what, we'll just take care of that. We'll put water in your room for you. That's just amazing. Yeah,
it was awesome because oftentimes what we do on the cruise lines that offer the service, we'll just order bottles of water from the cruise ship, and then they'll deliver it to our room, so then we don't have to carry them on with us or buy them at the different ports and then bring them on with us. This way, it's just like you said, it just cuts out that annoying thing of having to track down, water that you could drink on the ship.
Yeah, and that's kind of the other thing is that with Virgin, they're not trying to sell you something at every turn. Most cruise ships, like, you want water? Okay, $5. You want to do this? $10. Virgin, once you've paid and you're on the ship, you really aren't going to be paying much else because they're going to give you a bar tab too. So unless you're drinking an exorbitant amount of alcohol, you're just not going to be spending a whole lot of money. Now, which brings me to the next thing. Another thing that I have a problem with on most cruise ships is the arcade. And while we're not huge arcade players, why isn't that just included? Why do I have to pay 50 cents, $1? Because you go to an arcade on a cruise ship, there's never anybody in it because nobody wants to pay an extra $5, $10 to play games. So they're always underused, underutilized. But on Virgin, on this ship, the arcade exists and it is just free. All the machines are set to free play. You can just walk in there and play. It is so refreshing just to be on a ship where you can do what you want to do.
Exactly. Not just that, also like playing pool. A lot of cruise lines also charge you for playing pool, and they've got ping pong down there and all kinds of. It's a really cool area that they've set up that makes it a really fun experience. Not just playing the games, but then also down there you can get some snacks like popcorn and candy, and all of that is included in your fare.
Yeah, so we love this ship. There were a few things that we did not like, so we're going to get into those here, kind of warning you about those. The first one is that the curtains in the room were not blackout curtains, and so that wasn't the best. We wish they had thought to make those blackout curtains.
Yeah, we do like to sleep in, so it was kind of a bummer to have it be so light so early.
The next one is that this isn't really their fault. It's just kind of nobody knows about this because they do it differently. The check-in process is extremely chaotic because they're not making you get out of your room until 10 a.m. You really can't get in your room before 2 to 3 p.m. So they don't even let you on the ship till about 2 o'clock. Whereas most people are used to showing up to the port at 10 a.m., getting on the ship by 11. You are not going to get on the ship at 10 a.m. because the other people aren't even off the ship. They're not even out of their room at 10 a.m. yet. So everything is just set back a couple of hours. And what happens is people have never been on a Virgin before and they show up at 10 a.m. and it's just mass chaos because no one's getting on, and it just keeps growing and growing the people. Now, they do have in Miami a shuttle that will take you to the mall in theory. But there's like one shuttle and there's like 200 people trying to get on it, and then from the mall trying to get back. So we just skipped that. And
yeah, I think the problem here is that they don't communicate that strongly enough.
No.
That there is no possible way that you're getting on this ship before 1:30. They have got to be a little bit more firm about letting people know that, because literally everyone around us was going on Virgin for the first time as well. All the people that we were sitting there waiting with. We were there early because we had just gotten off another cruise ship, and it was actually literally two docks over from the Virgin ship.
Yeah.
So what were we going to do? We had our bags with us. There was nothing else we can do. So we thought, we'll just walk down there and we can just, hop on the ship. Well, with the lady, which was super nice there at the port, said, there's absolutely no way you're getting on this ship right now. And actually, people were still getting off when we got there because it was pretty early because we had just gotten off another ship. So I think, we cannot stress enough, do not get there before your time. You will get on quickly once it's your time, right?
Yeah.
But you will not be getting on before your assigned time. They have got it under control the way they have it set up. Do not be early if you don't have to be.
So another thing that we didn't love was that in the galley, they have all these little kind of mini restaurants, and it's a great concept where they come take your order, come bring back your food. But we did find they have like 24-hour diner breakfast, all-day breakfasting. We did see, it never happened to us, but a lot of people that were sitting around us, their order would get lost, and we would get our food and they'd be like, how'd you get your food? I've been here for 30 minutes. And I'd be like, you might want to check on that because we've heard of people's orders getting misplaced or lost and just kind of slipping through the cracks.
Yeah, literally that first day we sat next to this lady and she had clearly been there for a minute. We placed our order. Our order showed up and she said, I've been sitting here for 20 minutes. How did you get your food before me? Both of you. She was, very frustrated, which is totally understandable. And then they had to redo the whole thing. It was a whole thing. So not really sure how that happens. And this process is supposed to replace essentially the buffet.
Right.
So they do need to tighten that up a little bit and how that's processed.
The bathroom is quite small in the rooms, and that was one thing we didn't love. The rooms are good size though, so it's okay, but it's just something we didn't love.
Yeah.
And there's also pretty poor lighting in the room, which we're really nitpicking here because these are pretty small grapes.
Now, we were in a sea terrace room in a balcony, so you could always open, the curtains during the day, but at night, it was really dark in the room.
Yeah.
When you were trying to do things.
And then the room service is not always working. So sometimes if you say, well, we're going to order room service at 7 o'clock, you'll go on the app, it'll say, can't get it right now. But there's no indication of when you will be able to get it. So it kind of leaves you stuck wondering, well, is this going to be for the rest of the night?
Right.
Or do we just need to go get dinner? Going to come back in 10 minutes? I don't know. There's no way to know. And eventually it usually did come back. But then sometimes we just were like, forget it. We'll just go get pizza. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention in the love, the pizza is the best pizza at sea, bar none. The pizza is amazing.
No question.
There's no question about it. I would pay money to order this pizza anywhere, anytime. It's great pizza.
Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, you're right. I think the problem with the room service, going back to that, is that I think they got overwhelmed with too many orders, and once they got too many orders, then they kind of shut it down until they could get those out, and then they would turn it back on and you could place your order. But like Rob said, you don't really know when they were going to do that. So it was just like, okay, well, like, how long is this going to last? And a couple times we just wanted to sit in the room and have dinner and just enjoy the room. And we just weren't able to do that because, like you said, it was turned off.
Yeah, so if you're watching this and you've never been on a Virgin and you're considering it, just do it. It's the best cruise line. It's the best one we've ever been on. We had a phenomenal time. Just go. You're gonna love it.
Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave those down in the comments. We'll see you guys next time.